Welcome to my channel, guys. If you're a subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And today we'll be making this maxi gown, okay? Now, this is the calculation, but in all, the most important calculation is the gown length, the chest, shoulder to chest, the point where you want it to start from, all right? So you can pause to understand the calculation, all right? Now, guys, this fabric you're seeing, this dress, the fabric used, you can use crepe, right? You can use pure cotton for it, okay? Plain crepe or flowered crepe, whichever one can be used, all right? And have it in mind, this is not cut straight and it is not equally cut a shape. This is 90 degree. Okay, this is 90 degree. We have different types of flay. This is 90 degree. All right, now how do you cut it? If you get your fabric, you get the edge, you can see how I'm folding it. Okay, that is how you fold. All right, get the edge, especially the shortest parts. Ankara is 6 years. When you open it up in length, it is by 40. So from that 40, you fold it this way. All right, now looking at it, you see that the way I'm folding it, now the excess is there. You can see the excess at the extreme end. All right, that is 90 degree. Okay, if you want more information about 90 degree, please do check it up on YouTube. All right, now this is 90 degree flay. When you do that, you check your length. Okay, now I'm taking the measurement from the tip of my 90. Why am I doing that? To make sure now where I measured now, and the other side are not even, so I'm marking it. Okay, going round. Now you can see where my tape is. All right, now the reason for this marking is to get even length. What do I mean? The length of my gown should be even, the same. If you don't get the even length, there's every possibility that the unfold on open side can be bigger in height. It will give your dress a kind of shape. So I secured my length first. Haven't done that. The next thing I'll do right now, haven't done that. The next thing is to face the upper part of this gown. Okay, now I'll measure out my shoulder. My shoulder is 8, but first let me determine where I will do to mark my shoulder before marking. Now I'm going for 10. All right, yes, I'm going for 10 inches. Okay, now at this point 10, I measured it from the tip and I got 10. Have that in mind. Now I've checked it. I'm going for 5 inches. You can use 6, you can use 5, you can even use 4. But what I marked right now is 5. All right. Now these 5 are marked. You can the shoulder I had earlier was 8. You can either minus 2 from your shoulder, 3 from your shoulder, at most 4 from your shoulder. Once you have done that, then you mark the point for your armhole. Now from the point of I'm going 4 inches down. You can see I connected 4 inches and this is 5. I did 4 earlier and 5. Now you can decide which is okay depending on your armhole. There will be a singlet hand attached to it. All right, a piping attached to it. There will be an extension to it, so consider that when dipping your armhole. But for me, I went down by 4 inches. Okay, have that in mind. Then the next thing, I need to cross check. Okay, I need to cross check. Now that 5 inches up, all right, I took 5 inches, I'm using it to mark. Now the 5 inches is my chest, the shoulder to chest. Like you can see this open part, the chest open part on this dress, that is the 5. The distance between the shoulder to where the dress started. Okay, that is why my tape is up. That is why my tape is up. Please let me do a little refreshing back. Okay, whenever I want to measure, like when it's time to mark the armhole, I took my tape up a little bit by 5 above the line. That is an extension, like it's an illusion that there will be something there. So that illusion is 5. Okay, the same thing I did when measuring the length. Now I took 2 inches down, I deepened the neck depth. I deepen the neck depth, so it's giving me this way. All right, so the next thing is for me to cut. Okay, that is the cutting done. Good. So I've done the upper parts. Okay, the next is the down. Now I've achieved that. I can see it has been cut. Okay, now what next? You just use this pattern, the same thing with the back. You cut exactly what you have in the front and to the back. You are to cut exactly. Please have that in mind. Okay, now please, whenever you're taking your measurements, remember that 5 inches I used as illusion extension. It's usually above because there will be an attachment. When you attach that extension to it, or the singlet hand to it, or the bias to it, it increases in length. So that is why. Okay, so that is how you do it. The next thing is you can use for those that does not have piping, there is a machine for that gives you that neck singlet neck or singlet finishing. If you don't have that, you go for facing, but equally have it in mind that that facing cannot be cut straight. Cut it in a flay form too, so it will be free. Okay, the same way you folded to cut the dress is how you fold to cut the facing. You can use facing to finish it up. When you attach the bias, already made bias, to the tips. Okay, where that sharp do I call it K effect is at the neck part. When you attach it there, you use bias facing to finish it up. It gives you a neater. This, when you attach it where I attached it now, yes, you use facing to finish it up, it makes it easier. Okay, you use facing to finish it up, so that is how you do